Hello, leaders. I'm Dr. Patrick Jinks, leadership and strategy coach and president of the Jinks Perspective, and I want to invite you to my barbecue party. What questions do you have? Cue it up. Okay, I want to introduce you to a little game called the BBQ Game. And before I start, I want to let you know where I learned about this game. My good friend and advisory board member here at the Jinks Perspective, Nick Nanton, hosted Steve Sims on his podcast, Now to Next. Nick is a multi-Emmy award-winning filmmaker, among many other things. And there's a link to his Now to Next podcast in the video description below this video. You should absolutely check it out. But in an episode from this past October, Steve Sims, his guest, shared the barbecue game with Nick. And here's how it goes. If I'm hosting a big barbecue at my house this weekend and I invite you, what's the first question you ask? Now, I'll cut straight to the point of the game since this is a video and you can't actually interact with me in real time. Most people ask questions like, what time is the party? Or what's your address? Some people might even ask, who else is coming to the party? What's the purpose of the party? Or what other kinds of food will you have besides barbecue? But the first question Steve urges us to ask if we're ever in that situation is, what can I bring? What can I bring? Now, I don't think it'll take long to understand the point of this game. Steve is basically saying that before we serve our own interests or meet our own needs, we should think about what value we can bring to virtually any situation. Those of you serving in the nonprofit sector know all too well how often we have to ask people for things. We ask community leaders to serve on our boards. We ask people and companies to make donations to our cause. We make lots of requests for in-kind support from office space to advertising space. We spend an enormous amount of time and energy asking people for things. But how much more likely would we be to inspire the support of others if we first started to practice seeking to add value to them? Let's take it down to the level of leading our staff members on a daily basis. How intentional and consistent are you in asking those you lead questions like, how can I be of support to you? Or what do you need from me? If you're up for a little bit of a challenge that can help you think about this consistently, I hope you'll download our coaching sheet by clicking the link that's in the video description below this video and list the things over the coming week or month or year that you or your organization need from someone else. And underneath each item, list the things you might be able to bring to the barbecue for them. Many of the leaders in the social sector are steward leaders, if not servant leaders. And one of the best questions we can ask as a servant leader is, what can I bring? I'm a huge believer in the concept of give and it shall be given. I think it bears reminding to those of us who invest large portions of our bandwidth asking others for something. It's a necessary component of our work, but it should never be employed without the other side of the equation. And that's the Jinks Perspective for this week. As always, if you would ever like to explore ways that we can help you or your organization achieve greater clarity, simplicity, and alignment in your mission work through leadership or strategy coaching, reach out and schedule a free discovery call with me by clicking the link that's always in the video description below. And of course, I want to remind you to subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button below and make sure to include the bell icon so that you're notified when we drop new episodes. Finally, as always, share this with a friend or a colleague who might find it useful. Lead on.